Hey, 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 it is your girl, your favorite paralegal, aka Cassandra Lynn, and welcome to Legal Doc Talk 24/7. Waiting for people to come on in. I hope you guys are doing well, had an amazing day today. Hold on, let me turn this on. So, as you guys can see, I know that I don't want to say that I'm behind on this Drake. I actually found out this morning, but I had stuff to do. And so I want to make sure that I kind of give you guys my full attention when I am doing this. So, for one, don't forget to hit that like button once you come in. What's up, Miss Audra? How you doing? How are you doing? Okay. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So as you guys are aware, there's a few things because I think there's a lot of confusion as to what Drake has done. Um, why it says connecting my channels. I don't know if let's see. Well, it says both of them connected. All right. This is weird. I'm sorry, y'all. I just got an alert to activate my chat, and that's weird. I'm like, the chat is already activated. But anywho's, I think a lot of people are actually confused as to what is going on when it comes to the Drake situation, and I'm going to kind of break it down for you guys. So yesterday, I reported that he actually withdrew his, I would say, an order uh, from the New York case against Spotify and Universal Music Group. Okay. He also put in there that he was going to discontinue it, meaning that he wasn't going to pursue that particular proceeding. All right. Then this morning, I went over to the Texas in Bexar County because he did file something in Bexar County. And I'm sorry, I'm filling up my water thing. Um, he filed something in Bexar County requesting depositions. And so they're not actually lawsuits where he is seeking damages. I hope that makes sense. All right. So in New York and in Texas, he did not file a lawsuit where he was seeking damages. And I can show y'all better than I could actually tell y'all. So let me share the screen. All right. I'm going to break it down to you guys. So, yes, it says a petition here, right? And it also says an order to show cause here. But what I want people to pay attention is to what the case type is. The case type says a special proceedings other, and it's a pre-action. And I'm sorry, let me take off this trigger warning. So it was a pre-action. He was doing something before he decided to actually file a lawsuit against Universal Music Group and damn, what is it called? Spotify. Okay. Oh, I don't like this. Let me put it. There we go. So this was a pre-action. Now, in the petition, if we actually look at it, because like I said, y'all been with me long enough to know what a petition is. Usually somebody's filing for something, and at the end they would pray for damages, compensatory damages, special damages, general damages. That is not what this was. Again, it says in this, he was asking for an order pursuant to section 3102C of the Civil Practice Laws and Rules to compel Universal Music Group and Spotify to pre-action disclosures. In disclosures, they have to disclose certain information. And that's pretty much what Drake was trying to do. He was trying to get information on the so-called people that were paid. He was trying to get information in regards to the pay for play. He was trying to get information so that way he could review it and then formally start a lawsuit and say, hey, this is what they were doing, because he could have sued for RICO. There's a number of things that he could have done if he was able to obtain information and he actually had a case to do so. Okay. And that's all it is. And it tells you at the beginning of this, it says petitioner frozen moments by and through its undersigned attorneys respectfully petitions the court for an order granting limited pre-action disclosures from respondents, UMG and Spotify, and directing the preservation of relevant evidence in the possession, custody, and control of UMG. All right. So this was not a lawsuit, once again, for him to actually get damages. And I'm talking about the first two things that he did before he filed this defamation. We're going to get into that, but I'm trying to get everybody to understand that he did not file a lawsuit in either case in New York nor in Texas regarding UMG. It was just for them to do something. And that do something was to provide him with information. And even if we go down to the prayer section, it states exactly what he wanted the court to do. So it says petitioner respectfully requested that the court enter an order to compel respondent UMG to provide petitioner within 14 days of service on UMG by overnight. Anywho's, he wanted documents and communications responsive to the request that was in Exhibit A. So this is in regards to the Not Like Us video. So anything that was related to the Not Like Us video, whether it was the song, the image, or the video, he wanted to see certain documents, communications, anything that gave him information to say, okay, there was some type of uh dirty work done. So therefore we do have a right to sue. All right. I hope that makes sense. Hopping over to Texas. Once again, it wasn't a lawsuit. The type of case was to perpetuate testimony depositions before the suit. So this one was against iHeartRadio and UMG. So as of right now, as I reported this morning, they canceled one of the depositions, but they still have something on the docket here. So I am keeping up with that to see exactly what's going on. All right. So both of those in New York and Texas, those were only pre-action cases to get information. So when I reported last night, it's not like he withdrew the lawsuit, okay? He just withdrew trying to get information from UNG and Spotify. That's all it was. That's it. That's all. And he said, okay, he's not going to continue in that route. Where is that at? Document list. And that's what it is. Did I even read the stipulation on it? Oh yeah. So this is the stipulation. Oh, come on. But anywho's the special proceeding. Special proceeding is discontinued. So he's no longer requesting pre-trial, or not pre-trial, I'm sorry. He's no longer requesting pre-action disclosures from UMG and Spotify. That is why he discontinued this case. All right. Now let's hop right on into the actual defamation suit that paperwork Papi decided to file against UMG. And it's quite funny because I'm like, bro, I knew something was up. I was like, okay, so I guess you didn't get the information that you needed. I'm assuming that, or he did get the information that he needed, and that was the reason why he had a special sit down with Spotify and UMG, and he found that there was nothing really wrong. Nobody did any foul play or, anything to boost any numbers or anything like that. So the only thing he has to go with is this song Destroyed My Life. And now it's 81 pages. We ain't about to go through 81 pages, but I am going to get to some of this because it is hilarious. And this shows you how butthurt Aubrey Aubrey Drake Graham, aka Paperwork Papi, is. Like, it's over. It's over, dude. So grab your water, your wine, your coffee, and let's get right on into this. All right. So plaintiff Aubrey Drake Graham, through his attorneys, brings this complaint against defendant UMG Recordings Inc. And here is their introduction I thought was funny. A single lie can destroy a reputation of integrity. And while it takes years to build a reputation, it can be ruined in 5 minutes. And this is what Sir Lucian Grange, the CEO of UMG, said back on March 25th, 2024. Now, this is funny because this is like a story being told. All right. So, in the middle of the night on May 7th, 2024, an armed group of assailants drove up to the Toronto house in which Drake and his family resided. Drake was inside. The car stopped in front of the residence and someone yelled, F Drake! And at least one Pow Pow man began to open fire. One bullet went through the security gate and hit Drake's front door. Another bullet struck and wounded a security guard, one who was also one of Drake's friends. While the car drove away, Drake and others in the house summoned help for the security guard and did everything possible to keep him alive. During the nearly 30 minutes it took for the ambulance to arrive, Drake and others labored to keep the man alive by applying pressure to the pow pow wound with towels. Blood was everywhere. After the security guard arrived at the hospital, surgeons worked quickly to remove the bullet, stop the bleeding, and save his life. Though it took days for his condition to stabilize, thankfully, the security guard survived. The very next day, May 8th, 2024, a different intruder used his bare hands to dig a hole under the security fence surrounding Drake's Toronto's home. He managed to dig deep enough to squeeze through and enter Drake's property. Fortunately, Drake's home security guards caught him before he was able to cause any physical harm. Although the trespasser managed to yell racist slurs and threats against Drake before being escorted off the property. On May 9th, 2024, the very next day, another break-in attempt happened. In the 2 decades leading up to May of 2024, although Drake was constantly in the public eye, nothing remotely like these events had ever happened to him or his family. But these events were not coincidental. They immediately followed and were approximately caused by UMG's actions leading up to and on May 4th, 2024. UMG is the world's largest music company and also the music company that has represented Drake for more than a decade. Yet, on May 4th, 2024, UMG approved, published, and launched a campaign to create a viral hit out of a rap track that falsely accuses Drake of being a pedophile and calls for violent retribution against him. Even though UMG enriched itself and the shareholders by exploiting Drake's music for years and knew that the salacious allegations against Drake was false, UMG chose corporate greed over the safety and well being of its artists. In controversy, UMG saw an opportunity, seized it, and continued to fan the flames even after learning of the incitement to violence on May 7th and 8th, along with the unrelenting vitriol towards Drake that has followed. The song in question is Not Like Us, written and performed by Kendrick Lamar Duckworth, professionally known as Kendrick Lamar. The recording was intended to convey the specific, unmistakable, and false factual allegation that Drake is a criminal pedophile, and to suggest that the public should resort to vigilante justice in response. Oh my gosh, really? The recording is defamatory because its lyrics, its album image, and its music video all advance the false and malicious narrative that Drake is a pedophile. The lyrics repeatedly accuse Drake of engaging in criminal acts, including by calling him a certified pedophile and a predator who needs to be placed on neighborhood watch. You know, it's crazy that yes, this particular song blew up, but are you not going to talk about Meet the Grams? Because I'm like, this is not the only track that he went in on you at, my boy. I think Meet the Grams is probably worse than this. Anywho's, the image was on designed to reinforce and fact reinforce that accusation by depicting Drake's actual Toronto house covered in the icons that are known to be used by law enforcement as well as public safety applications like Citizen to identify child ex offenders' residents online. The video bolsters the same message by, for example, showing images associated with X trafficking and uh jux juxtaposing. I've never seen that. The game of hopscotch with the lyrics accusing Drake of trying to strike a chord and it's probably a minor. This lawsuit is not about the artist who created Not Like Us. It is instead entirely about UMG, the music company that decided to publish, promote, exploit and monetize allegations that it understood were not only false but dangerous. As UMG knows and has known at all relevant times, the recording, Not Like Us, image and video allegations are unequivocally false. Drake is not a pedophile. Drake has never engaged in any acts that would require he to be placed on neighborhood watch. Drake has never engaged in sexual relations with a minor. Drake has never been charged with or convicted of any criminal acts whatsoever. Notwithstanding its knowledge that the allegations are fabricated, starting in May of 2024, UMG waged an unrelenting campaign to spread the recording, image, and video, which is known as the defamatory material, as widely as possible. UMG did so because it understood that the recording's inflammatory and shocking allegations were a gold mine. Spreading the defamatory material served multiple business purposes for UMG. First, the more people who listened to it, streamed, watched, and downloaded the defamatory material, the more money UMG and its executives would make. Second, UMG Interscope Records owns Lamar's entire back catalog of recorded music. The leadership of Interscope had every incentive to prove it could maximize Lamar's sales after only recently persuading him to enter into his own direct license for a limited recording commitment of new music. Third, in contrast with Lamar's first direct deal, UMG contract with Drake was nearly fulfillment, and on information and belief, UMG anticipated that extending Drake's contract would be costly. By devaluing Drake's music and brand, UMG would gain leverage to force Drake to sign a new deal on terms more favorable to UMG. Really? UMG's campaign was successful. The recording cloaks cleverly dangerous lyrics beyond a catchy beat and inviting hook. Oh, I'm glad y'all noticed that. Capitalizing on those attributes, UMG used every tool at its disposal to ensure that the world would hear that Drake, like 'em young, the defamatory material has been played billions of times, and its false central message has gone viral via social and legacy media channels in dozens of language to, at minimum, hundreds of millions of people spanning the globe. That's what it is. This man is embarrassed. He can't go nowhere in the globe or on the globe where people ain't gonna be like certified lover boy, certified. Yeah, I can see it now. Go to Australia. I'm very curious how this Australia little tour is gonna go. I am. Um, let's see. The recording has become ubiquitous. UMG used its promotional resources and exclusive licensing rights to place the recording on numerous nationally televised events, including but not limited to award shows, national political events, and more. Because as soon as Not Like Us dropped, we heard it at the Lakers game. We heard it at the baseball game. So this is funny. D said UMG didn't make gay. Oh, okay. You didn't have to. You did not have to engage with Kendrick Lamar. You could have bowed out gracefully. You could have. You thought you had one up, and Kendrick had already had 10 in stock. You could have bowed out gracefully, but now that you lost, you feel some type of way. This is crazy. Hey, Tanya G, what up? Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's see what else he put in here. So both billions of play and ubiquity were not enough for UMG. Over the course of the last several months, UMG has made significant financial investments and leveraged its professional connections via sophisticated and highly organized publicity campaigns to arrange for the recording to be performed at one of the most significant and viewed cultural events of the year, the Super Bowl. Y'all, I said this when he did that little pre-action. Just imagine, and I'm taking my kids, we going to the Super Bowl. But just imagine a whole stadium singing that while being streamed on live television. This is what Drake is trying to do. Drake is trying to stop this song. Drake don't care about any other catalog or any other song that Kendrick has. He cares about this particular song and he's trying to stop it. That's what he's trying to do. UMG is legally responsible for the release, publication, and promotion of the defamatory material, including the foreseeable consequences of the same. UMG's business is to possess the exclusive rights to reproduce, to distribute, and to license music, including over the internet. In other words, it is only with UMG's explicit approval that the defamatory material could have been released in the first instance and later streamed, shared, performed publicly, and exploited by content creators on TikTok and Instagram. Oh, that he mad. He mad. The UMG's campaign went well beyond the traditional music company playbook. Indeed, UMG has unleashed every weapon in its arsenal, including on information and belief, certain practices that are unlawful. In a memorandum to staff reflecting on the highlights of 2021, Sir Lucian Grange remarked that it was harder than ever for artists to break through the noise. As, for example, 60,000 songs are added to Spotify every day. UMG made sure that Not Like Us broke through that noise. For one, UMG took an unprecedented step, contrary to its internal practices, to remove the recording copyright restrictions on YouTube and Twitch, thereby whitelisting the recording to ensure content creators would republish it broadly. On information and belief, UMG and its agents further put a thumb on the scale by offering financial incentives to third parties to deceptively stream the recording on streaming platforms, to play the recording on the radio, and to otherwise promote and endorse the defamatory material, all without ever publicly disclosing the payments. So he's still talking about these damn payments under the table. These actions not only spread and further ingrained the defamatory statements in the minds of the public, but deceived consumers and harmed Drake economically. So he still believes. So here's the thing: in the pre action in New York, Spotify responded, UMG did not. I think UMG is not even going to even pay attention to Drake as if they, I mean, now that he filed the defamatory lawsuit, that's another thing. But I think that's probably why he was pissed off. Like they're standing their ground. They know they didn't do anything wrong, as they put out in the statement when he first put out that pre-action suit. They didn't do anything wrong. What's up, Buttercup? Say Drake, I heard him like a young. Technically isn't outright defamation, and he didn't say it with certainty. I heard. It is just, there you go. Allegedly. Allegedly, we heard that you like them young. Even though we have seen some instances that is kind of weird. Like you are what, in your 20s and 30s and you was talking to Millie Bobby Brown, or when you brought a minor on stage and you said some inappropriate things to her. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Predictably, millions of people who listened to the recording or saw the image and video believed the defamatory material to be true. UMG had previously published Lamar's song Euphoria, I love that song, which was also widely understood to be targeted at Drake, and which stated, "Don't tell no lie about me, and I won't tell truths about you." Dun, 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 dun. As voluminous public commentary confirms, the average listener or viewer has understood the defamatory material to reflect the truth rather than the art or hyperbole. In the words of one commentator, now everybody believes that Drake loves touching. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna just say, yeah, touching that. That's sad. I mean, bro, you put yourself out there. Oh, wait, hold up. Where was this footnote at? Footnote 9. All right. Now this is saying that what do you say? Oh, that UMG unleashed every weapon, and they're saying that certain practices that they did were unlawful. So this note says that Drake previously initiated two pre-litigation. All right, so everybody, if y'all was at the beginning of the video, y'all know. So these were two pre-litigations. That's before a lawsuit is filed against UMG in the state court of New York and Texas to investigate allegations that UMG engaged in a deliberate and inappropriate strategy of paying third parties to artificially inflate the recording's metrics, a practice known as payola, and which is prohibited by communications. You can't actually prove that, my boy. You can't prove that. UMG's greed yielded real world consequences. As described above, it was just 3 days after UMG originally published the recording and image that Drake was targeted at his Toronto house by armed intruders in the 2024 equivalent of the Pizzagate. The online response was similarly violent and hateful. An avalanche of online hate speech has branded Drake as a ex-offender and a pedophile, among other effects. Public commentary has repeated the false claims that Drake is a pedo and an sexual abuser on the level of Weinstein, Diddy, and Epstein. Boy, if you up there with them, boy, who trafficked children in shipping containers and harbors, convicted ex offenders in his Toronto home. In a direct response to UMG's publication, social media users called for the Federal Bureau of Investigations to come at this point and for Drake to be locked up and behind bars. God, dog. The mob like response to recording continues to unfold on and offline. Recently, flyers were plastered all over Toronto with a photo of Drake and a Canadian YouTuber who was sentenced to 3 years in prison for SA with the words, "Canadian ex predators gotta stick together." Oh man, I need to go. I need to hurry up and go to Toronto. Boy, in your own city, man. In your own city. With the palpable physical threat to Drake's safety and the bombardment of online harassment, Drake fears for the safety and security of himself, his family, and his friends. After the attacks on his home, Drake pulled his son out of elementary school he attended in Toronto due to safety concerns. And once school ended for the summer, Drake arranged for his son and mother to leave Toronto entirely. Day to day, Drake continues to take steps to address persistent threats to his security. Ain't you out here in Texas, Drake? You are like what, south of Houston in the country on a ranch with acres. I'm just saying. The violence and vitriol directed at Drake was foreseeable. The recording falsely accuses Drake of one of the most vile behaviors imaginable and explicitly calls for the retaliatory violence and retribution against him. The false pedophile accusation is devastatingly effective method of assassinating someone's character online. When spread virally, the accusation could destroy an individual's reputation and brand in a matter of days. As one expert on conspiracy theories has explained, there's always been a certain amount of salaciousness in these conspiracy theories, and if it involves children, people immediately just lose their mind, even if these children don't exist. If you just put out the suggestion there, it grabs a hold in a way that is difficult to dislodge. Mm. D said Diddy called off Drake's name first on his answer the phone list. Mm, child. I've read that somewhere too. Oh, and somebody told me to go listen to a song that Kendrick put out. I gotta go listen to it. UMG understands how dangerous these kinds of false allegations are, and indeed, when it comes to allegations against UMG and its executives, they have not hesitated to take legal action against their accusers. Just last year, UMG and Sir Grange were accused in the words without the slightest factual basis of aiding and abetting Sean P. Diddy Combs in criminal X acts. Moving to dismiss the complaint against them, UMG and Sir Grange argued that the accusations were offensively false allegations of criminal behavior that would be libelous per se, if not contained within a legal filing. Let me see. And now, oh yeah, that was in the declaration. I remember reading that. Sir Grange called the allegations against him knowingly and maliciously false and defamatory. Sir Grange also explained a single lie can destroy a reputation of integrity, and while it takes years to build a reputation, it can be ruined in 5 minutes. Thus, recognizing that false allegations against him might interfere with his efforts to lead an honorable personal and professional life, Sir Grange promised to pursue those who have made the outrageous allegations against him. So Drake is comparing himself to Sir Grange, pretty much saying that, hey, they sued y'all too. Talk about, you was aiding and abetting Diddy, so how am I different? It's on a video. I could send it to you. Yes, send it to me, D. Send it to me. If you got me on Instagram, send it to me. It's my Instagram is right below this right here. Hold on, let me see if I can customize so yeah, I can see that. There we go. That's my Instagram right there up under the oh, you can't see that, but below. um in stark contrast, when Drake confronted UMG about its role in promoting allegations of extraordinary misconduct lacking the slightest factual basis against him, UMG refused to do anything to help. Instead, UMG continued to republish and promote the defamatory material, even after Drake had unequivocally denied the allegations in public and had communicated that in private to UMG. Drake informed UMG of the tangible harm that the publication and promotion of the recording had caused him, including violence, threats, reputational and financial damages, and more. Yet, UMG still chose money over the safety and the well being of its artists, notwithstanding the public commitment to behaving honorably and with honesty and setting the right tone in all that we do. Many months prior to filing this litigation, Drake attempted to address these claims privately with UMG. Drake believed, per Sir Grange, that UMG's leadership should be held accountable for the decisions we make and how we conduct ourselves. And UMG purports to care about threatening and abusive behavior. Indeed, UMG's code of conduct notes that harassment can take different forms, such as speech that is threatening or abusive, and declares that violence, threats, and physical intimidation are not tolerated at Universal Music because we all share the same responsibility to make health and safety a constant priority. Now, I'm thinking I don't know. You can't, y'all know how many artists UMG has, right? And he act like Kendrick has the worst. Like there are a lot of people who, if you sit down and you listen to the lyrics and read them for yourselves, it's worse off. So Drake miss everybody with this. Let's see. Buttercup says if he successfully pursues this, this will set the tone in the culture. Ninja's gonna be too scared to do rap this now. Exactly. You right. Imagine if Jay Z sued Nas. Okay, man. You know how many rap beefs there were, and what? This is crazy. Um, Let me see. Da, 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 da. All right. So, yet in response to Drake's concerns, UMG responded that Drake would face humiliation if he brought legal action, presuming that the public would be unable to understand UMG's role in exploiting and profiting from this dispute. UMG's posture as the world's largest music company was that it is untouchable. UMG's response to Drake was especially preserved given that it perfectly willingly to sue to protect its own interests when it believes that doing so will protect its property. And I remember that because I think UMG said that if Drake ends up suing them, then they was gonna end up suing Kendrick. I gotta go back and read that darn whatchamacallit, that statement that they put out. UMG is engaged in the business of acquiring, administering, licensing, exploiting, and otherwise monetizing the music of its artists, including Drake, and it does not hesitate to file lawsuits when doing so suits its financial interests. The lawsuit is both necessary and appropriate because UMG has repeatedly defamed Drake while exploiting and monetizing his work. She said, or if Big sued Death Row. Oh, okay, for real. These people are crazy. But Drake is taking, and I know his angle is he is trying to stop this song from being sung at the Super Bowl. That's the biggest thing. That is a threat. That is like the nail in the coffin. It's like Kendrick has like unalived, then took him out the grave, then unalived him again, and then Metro Boomin, took him out, unalived him again, and it's just like it repeats itself. So Drake, I believe his goal is to not have Not Like Us performed at the Super Bowl. Point blank, period. I mean, the damage is already done. She said, Buttercup said, UMG did not write the song, Aubrey. Okay. But he's saying he's going after them because they could have stopped Kendrick from releasing this. They could have stopped Kendrick. They could have said, Kendrick, find another, album cover to put on there. Why are you using Drake's house? Yeah. Um, Let me see. All right. So while his own record label, having waged a campaign against him and refusing to address this as a business manner, Drake has been left with no choice but to seek legal redress against UMG. UMG may spin this complaint as a rap beef gone legal, but this lawsuit is not about a war of words between artists. Huh? So if that was the case, Drake, why did you go in and was talk about certified lover boy? You actually, quoted some of the song in here. But if it's not about words, then what are we doing here? This lawsuit involves no claims against Kendrick Lamar or any other artist. Instead, it is about UMG, the publisher and exclusive rights holder of Lamar's music, as well as Drake's, and its malicious decision to publish and promote through covert means false allegations about Drake that UMG knew were false, explosive, inflammatory, and certain to result in both vitriol and substantial harm to Drake's reputation. Boy, this is funny. Notwithstanding a relationship spanning more than a decade, UMG intentionally sought to turn Drake into a target for harassment or worse. UMG did so not because it believes any of the false claims to be true, but instead because it would profit from damaging Drake's reputation. Drake thus brings this action to hold UMG responsible for the actual and foreseeable harm he has suffered and will continue to suffer because of UMG's choice to elevate profits over the well being of its artists and the music consuming public. Oh, look at this. Drake is a citizen of Texas. Texas, I am highly disappointed in you. All right, let's see. All right, so exceeds over 75,000, blase, blase. All right, let's see. I'm going to see how I'm going to do this. All right, background. So liability in this case is predicated on defamatory material which UMG published and or caused the publication on May 4th, 2024, and continuing through the date of this filing. This background section provides facts and context about the parties and the events leading up to the initial publications. All right, so let's get into it. So, first thing first, Drake is internationally recognized as a multi-talent rap superstar. Drake's career spans 2 decades. While Drake's first rose to fame in the early 2000s as the star of a hit Canadian teen drama television series, Degrassi, I used to watch that, The Next Generation, the rapper Drake is now known worldwide. Drake is one of the world's best-selling artists, music artists of all time. And I used to be a Drake fan. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I used to listen to Drake songs, and every now and then I'll be singing, Hotline, a lot of his songs. I'm not even gonna lie, but I don't like him. Um, over these past few years, I just feel like he has been really feeling himself, and I don't like that Drake. I like the Drake that was with Lil Wayne, but that's neither here nor there. Some of Drake's biggest hits include Hotline Bling and One Dance. Between 2010 and 2024, Drake released 8 studio albums with more than 170 million albums sold, including 244 million singles sold. Drake has had 13 number one hits on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Drake's success has been repeatedly celebrated by the music industry. Drake has been nominated for 55 Grammy Awards and has won 5, including most recently in 2023. Drake has also won 42 Billboard Music Awards, and in 2021, Drake accepted Billboard's Artist of the Decade award. Drake proudly accepts this award with his young son, father, and members of his team by his side, dedicating the award to his son, friends, longtime collaborators, and peers. Drake's professional and entrepreneurial endeavors extend beyond music. In 2012, Drake founded the Canadian based record label OVO Sound, which has signed artists including Party Next Door, Majid Jordan, Smiley, and Naomi Sharon. Don't know none of these people except for Party Next Door. Drake also uses the brand name OVO, represented by an owl, for his clothing brand. Far more than just label merch, the clothing brand has collaborated with Canada Goose, Canadian retailer Roots, Disney, the NCAA, the NFL, and Supreme. In addition to lucrative online sales, OVO operates several brick and mortar stores in Canada, United States, and United Kingdom. Drake founded a multidisciplinary media public what is that production company, Dream Crew, which operates a management company, production house, and content studio. Though Dream Crew Entertainment, through Dream Crew Entertainment, Drake has executive produced award winning documentary films, feature films, and hit television programs for FX, Hulu, Netflix, and HBO, including Top Boy, which has received awards from the British Academy Television Awards, and Euphoria, for which Drake received a Primetime Emmy Award nomination. So what you're telling me is you have all of this going, but you were harmed. I mean, it'd be different if they said, "Well, I got to read it on." But if like people let you go because of the false allegations, then that's something else. Buttercup. She said, "I've been a proud Drake hater since nothing was the same. Hater of all Scorpios too." Oh Lord, they about to come get you. As a celebrity with global name recognition, Drake is regularly approached for collaborations, partnerships, and endorsements deals. In 2013, Drake became the global ambassador for Toronto's NBA team, the Raptors. Since then, Drake has inspired new alternate team jerseys, narrated team advertisements, hosted a Drake Night each season for several years, and pledged charitable contributions to refurbish community basketball courts and to support Canada Basketball, the country's national basketball federation. In 2019, the Raptors renamed their practice facilities the OVO Athletic Center. Drake's partnership with the Raptors is significant to the team and the city. And the president of Toronto Raptors, Masai Ujiri, has said that the Raptors' relationship with Drake has always ultimately been about celebrating the city and the people who make it unique. We have something very special happening in Toronto, and Drake is a big part of that. All I could think here is that Ebony Prince, if you're on Twitter, go to Ebony Prince, because ever since dude posted that freaking video with that man in that the handicapped man that was in the chair, that's just, I don't know. I mean, I could see people being involved, and when I say people, these celebrities, it's like they do these things as a smokescreen. Like they're into the community, they do this, they do that, they have this, they have that. But then on the other side of that, they're doing these weird things. Think about that. Drake's philanthropic efforts have received almost as much attention and praises as his music. Hey, Diddy did too. He got the keys to the city. Howard University gave him an honorary. Anywho, Drake has a history of making generous donations and going on charitable sprees in the communities where he shoots music videos and appears on tour. Through his charitable giving, Drake has supported public schools and nonprofit educational programs, community development organizations, and homeless shelters, hurricane relief efforts, and various individuals in need, including college students, grieving mothers, patients in need of surgery, and fans in dire need of financial assistance. Drake has also focused on giving back to his community in Houston, Texas, including by providing much needed financial assistance in the wake of Hurricane Harvey. As UMG knows and has understood at all relevant times, Drake has never been indicted for, charged with, or convicted of committing any crimes whatsoever, much less actual crimes and any crimes against minors. Hey Ty, what's up? All right, so now we know about Drake. We know a little bit about Drake and what he did. It's funny that they put all this stuff up, but don't realize at the end of the day, Diddy did the same thing. Hmm. All right. So that was Drake's background of who he is. Now we're talking about UMG. In its own words, UMG is the world leader in music entertainment. UMG is engaged in the business of acquiring, administering, licensing, exploiting, and otherwise monetizing a catalog of copyright containing musical compositions and sound recordings. UMG controls almost a third of the music people listen to in the developed world and a sizable portion in the developing world. The music industry controlled over a particular single album and or other collection of works is governed by various contracts including traditional recording deals and distribution, publishing and licensing deals. In a traditional recording deal, a record label typically retains exclusive rights to an artist and the artist's recordings, and the right to the re recording the compositions embodied therein for a specific period of time. The label pays in advance for the artist's recordings and royalties and finances the provisions of services to the artist in such areas such as production, promotion, marketing, and distribution. A distribution deal differs in that it generally allows an artist to retain ownership of his recordings and grants the record label the exclusive right to sell, license, and distribute the recordings in certain formats, whether it's digital, physical, or phonograph records, for a specific period of time. With a music publishing administration deal, the artist, as a songwriter, generally retains ownership of his musical compositions and pays a percentage of his music publishing revenues to a publisher to administer, promote, exploit, license, and protect use of his songs. A 360 deal, also known as a master contract, is the most comprehensive. It encompasses the traditional rights granted in a recording deal, but also provides the record label with control over or a passive income stream from merchandising, touring, endorsements, and other ancillary ventures the artist may undertake. Once Universal Music owns the recording, distribution, and or publishing rights to a work, it exploits that ownership through licensing deals with third parties. UMG licenses its music to hundreds of retailers around the world. The licensing deals allow third parties to legally use a recording, a musical composition, or portions thereof. All right, so Universal has agreements with all major platforms, including but not limited to iTunes, Amazon, Apple Music, Napster. They still got Napster. Formerly Rhapsody and Spotify, as well as TikTok and Meta, including Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, WhatsApp, and Threads. In the event that a person or entity wants to use a song outside of one of those licensed platforms, for example, to play during a political rally or a sporting event, it has to request the right to do so from Universal Music, which holds the synchronization contract. I did not know that. I did not know that, and I just learned something for today. Um, hey, hope all is well. Checking you out for the Drake updates. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, all is well. And likewise. So I just learned something. So if there was like a presidential debate, right, and they want to play Not Like Us, they would have to go through UMG first. That's crazy. Okay, learn something. A third party cannot legally use UMG's Universal Music Recordings or UMPG's licensed content, embodying those recordings in advertising or on a live stage, in film or television, or on the radio without the explicit consent of Universal Music. So my question is like, for instance, the basketball games and the football games and the baseball games, I'm wondering if they got permission to do so, because even though it's at an event or a sporting event, they're still aired on TV and obviously we can hear it, but I don't know. I got to look into that. Through its exclusive licensing rights, Universal Music wields incredible power to promote and popularize a song or performer. UMGs invest significant amounts of money, time, and effort to advertise, promote, sell, and distribute the music it owns. Universal Music exercised this control in early 2024 when it pulled its songs from the publication on TikTok over issues with the platform's use of generic artificial intelligence. Through copyright ownership, Universal Music can control the unlicensed use of its music, but it can also strategically waive or reduce the customary fees it charges for the licensing rights to its music to provide for the unrestricted spread of a song. This tactic, known as whitelisting, happens when a copyright holder, like Universal Music, permits a user or platform to use its content without charging fees or imposing other limitations. In the normal course, internet platforms operate automated content identification systems to block the unauthorized use of copyright material by their users. In whitelisting, these automated systems are turned off. So, so in other words, he is just pissed that when not like us, pretty much they whitelisted so everybody could sit there and play it, and that's what he pissed about. Overview: pedophilia is a psychotic disorder or psychiatric disorder in which an adult or older adolescent experience a primary or exclusive sexual attraction to, oh gosh, Lord D. Oh Lord, Drake. So Universal Music says it exists to shape culture through the power of artistry because music is unique in its ability to inspire people. That power to shape culture and inspire people is apparent by the numbers. In its 2023 annual report, Universal Music boasts that it has a catalog of more than 220 artists and brands, 3.2 million recordings, and 4.5 million owned and administered titles. At the end of 2023, Universal Music had an ownership interest in 61 of the Billboard Hot 100 tracks. In the first quarter of 2024, Billboard reported that UMG represented 33.9% of the record label market share. On social media platforms alone, music owned by Universal Music was streamed 11 trillion times in 2023. UMG's size dwarfs other music companies, and this size gives it an advantage. UMG has a physical presence in 200 geographic markets, which gives artists signed to UMG a critical edge compared to peers at competing levels. At the company can amplify the local success of an artist from one region to the rest of the world. UMG uses the size and dominance to convince artists to sign with its record labels. Because of streaming, it's more of an uphill battle than ever before because to capture the audience attention among a sea of other songs. UMG's market position combined with the flood of content that hits streaming platforms every day means that artists depend on UMG to stand out from the crowd. Even established artists depend upon UMG to maximize their commercial success through its world class marketing, proprietary data, analytics, global distribution network, and additional monetized opportunities. Artists sign with UMG and some begin because a UMG partnership promises to support the artist's music with an experienced team of professionals incentivized to advance one's career. UMG's executives are handsomely compensated for exploiting artists' works. UMG reports that its executive composition is driven by its transition to more performance based packages. UMG executives, including those at Interscope, have an annual incentive program through which they are rewarded for meeting and surpassing sales and profit projections, among other metrics. The incentives are largely based on the specific UMG division rather than the performance of UMG more generally. For example, the annual incentive or bonus of Interscope CEO John Janik is based 90% on the financial success of Interscope and only 10% on the financial success of UMG generally. In other words, if you know Drake is going to try to make it seem like everybody had an advantage or financial advantage in pushing Not Like Us. And that's what we're going to see throughout this petition. The division based incentive structure creates a perverse incentive within UMG. Mr. Janik and other Interscope executives are incentivized to maximize the financial success of the Interscope labels without taking into the account the impact on other UMG labels. For example, through the promotion of Not Like Us and its revitalizing impact on Kendrick Lamar's entire recording catalog, including his first 5 studio albums, Interscope and Interscope executives benefit regardless of the effect on the UMG labels like Republic, which represents Drake. All right, so now we're talking about UMG and Drake's long partnership. So UMG began profiting off of Drake's art in 2029. I'm not 29, damn. 2009. The parties extended their contract in 2022. After announcing the 2022 contract extension, Sir Grange described Drake as one of the biggest artists of today and expressed that UMG couldn't be more excited about what lies ahead for its relationship with Drake. Through the contract extension, UMG profits from its exclusive rights to exploit Drake's music. Now, here, all right, in 2002, you might have been the biggest artist. Okay, 2003, probably so. 2004, you probably dwindle down. I mean, that it happens. I'm confused. The contract between UMG and Drake is up for renegotiation this year. By the spring of 2024, UMG understood that the rise of streaming platforms had enhanced the bargaining powers of artists. Established artists whose contracts are coming up for renewal are in an improved position to demand higher take rates due to the improvement in the visibility of cash flows and risk reduction. And as described below on Information and Belief, UMG was incentivized to act and, in fact, did act in a manner to reduce that bargaining leverage in advance of upcoming negotiations with Drake over contractual renewal. So, what I am assuming this is saying, if the beef never happened, right, and Drake was still making that money, right, then he would have negotiate something higher. All right. So I don't know how much music artists make. I really don't. So let's say, $1 million, and he say, okay, we're gonna bump it up to 3 mil. But now that that rap beef happened, that kind of, you know, set him back a few hundred thousand. So instead of him being at 1 million, he probably like at 300,000, and and that probably worked because I when you think about businesses, they don't want to put out that much money. You see what I'm saying? So it'll benefit UMG to do 300,000 than to do 3 million. But that's just my thought process. I don't know if that's how that works, but he doesn't have a bargaining leverage, and what he's claiming is that UMG did this on purpose so that way when it's time for negotiations, Drake will be hurt and he'll be like, well, I guess I'll take it because I ain't got nothing else to lose. I ain't making no money anywhere else. So anywho's, All right, now UMG has licensing and publishing rights over Kendrick Lamar's music. On information and belief from 2012 and 2023, Kendrick Lamar was signed to an exclusive production company agreement with Top Dog Entertainment, which in turn furnished his exclusive recordings services to the Aftermath Entertainment Record imprint, which is a joint venture of Interscope. The sound recording copyrights to Kendrick Lamar's first 5 studio albums are owned and controlled by Interscope. In 2023, having fulfilled his recording obligations to Top Dog Entertainment and Aftermath Records, Kendrick Lamar signed a new short term exclusive recording and licensing deal with UMG through Interscope and an exclusive publishing administration agreement with UMG through UMPG. Through these contracts, UMG exclusively controls the release, publications, and licensing of all music products created by Kendrick Lamar during the term of the contract, including the defamatory material. On information and belief, Lamar signed a short term deal with UMG to see if UMG could prove its value to him, to promote him more effectively than any other music company could in a compressed time frame. If successful, Lamar would then continue his relationship with UMG through a newer long-term contract. On information and belief, that long-term deal was consummated in December of 2024. On information and belief, UMG's contract with Kendrick Lamar provided UMG the right to prevent the publication of and or to insist on modifications to any material created by Kendrick Lamar, including but not limited to any of the content which UMG believes to be defamatory. Hey, Latrice. Hey. How you doing today? So pretty much Drake is, at the end of the day, he is saying that UMG could have stopped this defamatory music being put out. They could have nipped it in the bud. Oh man. All right, here's the big thing. So UMG publishes the defamatory material. So UMG publishes the recording, not like us, and begins to defame Drake. On May 4th, 2024, pursuant to its publication and licensing rights, UMG published the recording for streaming on YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Tidal, SoundCloud, Audio Mac, Napster. Golly, all of those. Y'all see it. Everything that's there, that's where they published it. When viewed on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, and Deezer, the recording includes the following language: exclusive license to Interscope Records, which is a division of UMG. Since defendant's initial publication of the recording has been streamed globally more than 990 million times on Spotify alone as of the date of this filing. And when we talk about the recording, he's talking about Not Like Us has been streamed globally 990 million times just on Spotify. That's wild. Not Like Us repeatedly accuses Drake of engaging in criminal acts, including pedophilia and or other acts that would require registering a ex-offender and of being registered as a ex-offender. Within the first time, the recording identifies Drake by name and states that Lamar has heard that Drake has a predilection for underage women. Say, Drake, I hear you like I'm young. The next line is thinly veiled threat that Drake should be careful that he never ends up in prison, a place where child predators are notoriously the targets of violence. You better not ever go to cell block 1. The recording continues to say that any woman who falls in love with Drake should be careful to hide her little sister from him. I'm sorry. Next, in a pre-verse reference to Drake's 2021 album, Certified Lover Boy, Certified Pedophile, wop, 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 wop. All right, in a play on the dual meaning of minor, a person under the age of 18, and a musical scale, the recording says that Drake is trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. Later in the recording, Lamar describes Drake as Malibu's most wanted. Hey, that movie is freaking hilarious. The recording continues to say that Drake and his people in his circle need to be served with a subpoena because a predator moves in flocks, and asserts that Drake's name gotta be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. I need to be here because my husband is a huge Drake fan and can't stand what I play. Oh man, what? No, no, not he a Drake fan. Hit the like, shot. Come on, yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Auntie. Oh my gosh, this is funny. The recording, not like us, also repeatedly suggests that violence should be used against Drake because he is a pedophile. Like the sound of someone being beat up, the recording repeats wop, 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 wop. And then Lamar says, he will F him up. Later, the recording threatens that if Drake comes to Oakland, where Lamar grew up, he would not make it out alive. I think that Oakland show gonna be your last stop. I don't think that's what he was saying. I think he just saying you ain't about to do no more shows because we gonna put you out our city. That's what I think he said. That he meant by that. The recording makes clear that justice will be served not through the legal system and or commentary on social media. F a caption, but through physical violence, want action, no accident, and I'm hands on. He F around, get polished. At the end of the recording, the lyrics threateningly repeat, hey, 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 run for your life. Hey, 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 run for your life. Not Like Us contains numerous additional statements that imply the existence of evidence to support the allegations against Drake. Drake, I thought you said this wasn't about the words, my boy. This wasn't about the words, but you up here quoting everything about that song. The recording threatens that Lamar could reveal more secrets about Drake. Rabbit hole is still deep. I could go further, I promise. And that the public will believe him. The audience not dumb. Shape the stories how you want. Hey Drake, they're not slow. The recording continues by making reference to several Drake songs, Family Matters and God's Plan, and accusing Drake of being a liar for denying allegations of criminality. Once again, if y'all have not gone on Ebony Prince 2K on Twitter, y'all need to go follow that man because at first I thought he was a little weird, but that man know about what was going down in that hotel. He used to work there. Um, Let me see. Da, 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 da. So the family matter and the truth of the matter, it was God's plan to show y'all the liar. The recording also makes a vulgar attack on Drake's brand OVO. What OVO for? The other V option and the P word. And let me hear you say OV ho, OV ho, say OV ho, OV ho. Further in the recordings refrain that Drake is not like us. The recording alludes to Drake's Jewish heritage, saying that Drake is not a colleague, but a effing colonizer. While the recording, UMG also published by accompanying image on May 4th, 2024 on YouTube, YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio. Okay, all of that. You know what's crazy? So this is what they're talking about. But y'all know what's crazy? He didn't say nothing about when he was calling us some slaves. He didn't break that part down. And then called us slaves again. But yeah, so this is Google, Apple Music, Spotify, and it's still up there. Drake is trying to get this song taken down. The image featured an aerial view of Drake's Toronto's home, including identifying information regarding the location of the home, and is covered in the icons used by law enforcement and public safety applications like Citizen to identify child ex offenders and their residences on public registries. As of the date of this filing, UMG's original publications of the recording and image remain available on the aforementioned platforms, and they do. And they did. What you say, D? Didn't Drake start dating Lottie? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Say Drake. Mm. At all relevant times, wait, hold on, let me see. Yeah, at all relevant times, UMG knew that the allegations in the defamatory material were baseless. And despite being able to contact Drake, at no point has UMG ever asked Drake or his representatives about whether the allegations in the defamatory material were true. On Information and Belief, Sir Grange and Mr. Janik were involved in the initial publication of the recording and image. Separately, on Information and Belief, Monty and Avery Lippman, who is the Republic CEO and president, respectfully, failed to prevent the publication. Oh, so now he's telling us that it is false. The defamatory material is false. The allegations against Drake are unequivocally false. Drake has never been charged with, indicted for, or even convicted of any charges of sexual violence or assault, including but not limited to sexual violence against a minor. Nor has Drake ever engaged in inappropriate romantic or sexual behavior with a minor. I'm going to stop you there because somebody needs to explain to me, and I don't care about the industry. Why was Drake texting Millie Bobby Brown? If y'all know who that is the 11 off of Stranger Things, that young girl. And she's talking about he was my big brother, da 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 da. Like she even came out and said that she was texting him. They were meeting up. Like, no. I don't care how big of a star you are. Why are you sitting here texting a grown man? And Drake should have known better. So that I'm side eyeing that. And then I'm also side eyeing, like I said earlier in the video, about him bringing a minor up on stage, and he was complimenting her body or whatever the case may be, and he asked her the age, and she said, "Oh, I'm 17" or something like that, and he still proceeds to do what he was doing before he asked her age. Like, come on. Like, even though, yeah, you may not have been charged or convicted or anything of that nature, it's out there. We see what you're doing. People have said some things. And I don't think we're going to take a blind eye to that after what Diddy done did. The recording, aka Not Like Us, provides no evidentiary support for any of its defamatory allegations. Instead, the recording apocryphally references hearing these allegations and threatens that it could go further. I promise. Drake publicly denies the defamatory material. So on May 5th, 2024, just a day after UMG published the recording and image, Drake denied all of the allegations in a song called The Heart Part 6. I didn't even listen to it, and if I did, I don't even remember what the crap it said. Drake explained that he has never been with no underage and that his name is not on the ex offender list. Despite being able to contact Drake, UMG, okay, he just saying that they didn't contact him to discuss the defamatory material. Drake is the target of violence almost immediately. Within days of UMG's initial publication of the recording and image, which depicted the location of Drake's residence in Toronto, accused him of being a criminal pedophile and called for violence against him. Multiple strangers, including at least one armed with a deadly pow pow, targeted Drake. He said, "Oh, snapping your fingers to that. Look for a letter from Drake's lawyer soon." They better. Hey, if I ever get a what you call it, I'm gonna cuss Drake out publicly. That's gonna be fun. At 2 a.m. Oh, this is what they said at the beginning. So at 2 a.m. on May 7th, somebody came to the residence, screamed out F Drake, fired. His security guard ended up getting pow. They had to rush him to the hospital where it took a minute for him to get stabilized, but he's okay. Ain't nothing happened to him. All right. The news quickly jumped on the story of the violent attack against Drake, with all the major news outlets publishing stories. For days, news helicopters flew overhead the Toronto house. While no one from UMG ever reached out to Drake or any of his representatives to check on his well being, UMG undoubtedly saw the press coverage of the attack. So he's butthurt. Not only did he lose a rap battle, but also because UMG did not reach out to him after knowing what happened to him, and then, check on him or his family. So he's upset. hmm Also on May 7th, across the globe in London, UK, Drake's OVO clothing store was vandalized with graffiti that reads, "They're not like us." The graffiti was likely viewed by hundreds of Canterbury Street passerby before the glass window could be removed, and millions online once the news broke. On May 8th, a different invader attempted to break into Drake's property by using his bare hands to dig under the security gate. The invader slid under the fence and entered the property, screaming racial slurs and threats towards Drake. The invader was apprehended by security before entering the house. On May 9th, there was another trespasser on Drake's Toronto property. This time, the trespasser got into a physical altercation with Drake's security guards before taken away by the police. The individual returned to Drake's property on May 11th, 2024. These acts of violence against his residence, where Drake lives with his son, and against his businesses are not normal. In all the years he has been a celebrity, nothing like the events of early May have ever happened to Drake before. He has never been in a rap beef. After these attacks, Drake reasonably fears for the safety of his family, himself, particularly at his Toronto property. Following the May 7th powing, Drake temporarily pulled his 7-year-old son out of school and the Toronto area. Drake lives his life differently since UMG published his defamatory material. Drake has increased his security team in Toronto and everywhere he goes. How are you going to start talking about somebody? You get into a rap beef, and like, you did not put out good things either. And I don't see Kendrick, suing you or UMG. UMG continues to defame Drake by publishing Not Like Us. So he's still pissed because after the rap beef went down, what did Kendrick do? He came out with a video. And that video dropped on the 4th of July. Lord. I said, "Oh, Drake, he unburied Drake and then put him back in the ground." On July 4th, 2024, 2 months after UMG initially published the recording and image, and with knowledge of the actual violence and online threats that had already emerged, UMG published a Not Like Us music video on YouTube and to users of Apple Music and Tidal. And then they go stop it on that particular on YouTube. A watermark of Vivo LLC appears in the bottom right of the video. The YouTube caption of the video lists a Vivo LLC URL, and Universal Music is a significant owner of Vivo, which is a privately held American multinational music video hosting service. Universal Music used Vivo to distribute video content to global platforms such as YouTube and major television networks. The video depicts images bolstering the recording's Not Like Us defamatory allegations. For example, the lyrics "trying to strike a chord and it's probably a minor" are matched with an image of hopscotch, a popular playground game for children. The imagery reinforces the drawn-out singer of the A minor lyric and the lie that Drake is a pedophile. Kendrick Lamar is depicted in front of shipping containers with air conditioning units inside. These images are associated with X trafficking. The video also includes allusions to Drake's OVO brand, which is represented by an owl. In combination with the lyrics wop, 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 dot F 'em up, the video shows Lamar beating an owl shaped pinata with a bat. During this scene, a caption appears at the bottom of the video that states, disclaimer, no OVO hoes were harmed during the making of this video. I thought it was hilarious. In its conclusion, the video depicts a prolonged shot at a live owl in a cage. The meaning is clear. Drake belongs behind bars. Defendant's initial publication of of the video on YouTube had been viewed more than 206 million times as of the date of this filing. As of the date of this filing, UMG's original publications of the video remain available on the aforementioned platforms. And on Information and Beliefs, Sir Grange, Mr. Janik, Mr. Monty Littman, and Avery Littman, they all played a key role in the initial publication of the video, either by directing or approving the publication and or failing to prevent its publication. UMG published the defamatory material with knowledge of reckless disregard of its falsity and knowledge that it reasonably foreseeably to cause Drake harm. UMG does not believe now, nor has it ever believed, that Drake was a pedophile, an ex-offender, or otherwise a criminal. Defendant published, republished, and promoted the defamatory material, knowing the allegations were not true, or at least with reckless disregard for its falsity. UMG also published and promoted the false allegations against Drake despite the inherent improbability of the allegations, reliable contrary information, and awareness that they were unsupported by any evidence, let alone reliable evidence. As an initial matter, UMG has a financial interest in knowing any potential liabilities that Drake had or could have, including criminal charges or convictions. As laid out in UMG's Code of Conduct, UMG is committed to human dignity. It does not tolerate human rights abuses such as child labor, slavery, human trafficking, and unsafe or unfair work practices at or operations, and only conducts business with partners, suppliers, and customers who share the commitment of protecting human rights. Now, that is like for the company. I'm not seeing the correlation with artists, so you can't tell artists what to write. And if they did had a problem with whatever Kendrick wrote, then they wouldn't have published it. But that's neither here nor there. UMG would not have contracted with Drake in the first instance, nor would it have continued to maintain existing contracts had it believed it at any relevant time that any of the allegations in the defamatory material were true in any aspect or respect. UMG understands, as is easily confirmed through basic public record searches, that Drake had never been charged with, indicted for, or convicted of any charges of sexual violence or assault, including but not limited to sexual violence against a minor. Furthermore, UMG has access to Drake and could have asked him directly about the veracity of the allegations at any point in time. Dee said Amazon hosted the Ken's Pop Out show. And yes, and I was in here. I was in my living room acting like I was in Los Angeles. That's how lit I was. UMG also knew, or should have known, that publishing defamatory material, it was a gambling with Drake's safety. Critically, in addition to accusing Drake to being a criminal pedophile, the defamatory material calls for violence against Drake and depicts his Toronto address. Incidents like the 2016 Pizzagate show how accusing someone of being a pedophile and or of committing crimes against children can quickly spread out of control into a viral conspiracy theory and acts of real physical violence. UMG directly knows that harm can arise from such outrageous allegations of criminal activity. UMG and Sir Grange were recently accused of aiding and abetting P. Diddy in committing heinous and widespread acts of sexual violence against minors. UMG and Sir Grange acted swiftly to refute these allegations. In a court filing, Sir Grange stated, "I do not take lightly being falsely and publicly accused of criminal activity, and as I said, I intend to pursue those who have made these outrageous allegations against me." Despite having knowledge of the violence that occurred at Drake's Toronto residence, as well as substantial online threats and viral directed at Drake, and notwithstanding having a direct line of communication to Drake, UMG did not discuss the video with Drake prior to publishing it. Whew, this is some. Y'all go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that like button. UMG engages in a publicity campaign to ensure maximum spread of defamatory material and deceive consumers. Drake and his legal team is really going to have to put in some time to prove that UMG did all this. I'm very interested in to see what type of, tangible evidence that they have to support all of these claims that they're making in this complaint. Since the initial publications on May 4th and July 4th, UMG has utilized every weapon in its arsenal to ensure that the defamatory material spread to the maximum extent possible around the world. Let's see, UMG used social media to promote the defamatory material and market the recording's popularity consumers. So let's see what we got here. So, in the months since the initial publications and for months after it understood the harms Drake has suffered as a result of the defamatory material, UMG repeatedly posted the defamatory material to his social media accounts, including Interscope and UMPG accounts. At the time of this filing, UMG has a social media following of approximately 2.2 million on YouTube, 983,000 on Instagram, 712 on X, and 624 on Facebook. At the time of filing, Interscope has a social media following of approximately 937,000 on YouTube, 756,000 on Instagram, and 560,000 on Facebook. On June 9th, 2024, Interscope reposted a tweet bragging that Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us became the fastest rap song to reach 300, golly, Cassandra, 300 million Spotify streams in only 35 days. The post features the image side by side with a photo of Kendrick Lamar. The post has approximately 4,200 views. I mean, it's a fact. That's why they reposted it. On June 20th, 2024, UMG posted a carousel of photos and videos to its official Instagram account of Lamar performing the recording at the Pop Out concert, during which the recording was played 5 times back to back, and I was in my living room jamming. UMG captioned the post, "History was made," with the fire emoji, and then they at him and tagged Interscope. Boy, you talk about this, boy. This comment says, "It's so bad for Drake. UMG owns Drake, but reposts Kendrick." That same day, UMPG posts videos from the Pop Out performance on its official Instagram, which has hundreds of thousands of followers, Facebook page, and TikTok. The Facebook post included the main "Not Like Us" refrain from the recording, while the Instagram and TikTok posts published an A minor portion of the recording. On Instagram, UMPG captioned the video, "They Not Like Us," at Kendrick Lamar pops out with his debut performance of Not Like Us at his Ken and Friends Pop Out Juneteenth concert in LA. Similarly, on TikTok, UMPG boasted that the crowd goes wild for hashtag Kendrick Lamar's debut performance of Not Like Us at his Juneteenth pop out concert at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles, California. Greg Morella, president of promotion and executive VP of Capital, another UMG label, promoted the pop out concert on his personal Instagram page with the same photo posted by UMG. On July 5th, 2024, Interscope promoted the video on Instagram account. The carousel included images of a short clip of the video with the caption "Not Like Us, out now." On July 8th, 2024, UMPG posted a GIF, I don't even know how to say that, from the video on its X account, encouraging people to watch the video. Tell us, what was your favorite moment at Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us music video? Boy, this man is mad. On July 15th, Interscope posted two X posts, including one from Complex regarding a fan's creation of a Not Like Us video game. And I actually have that on my watch. Like, it's a little, yeah. The post depicts images from the video game which emulate the scene from the video in which an owl-shaped pinata is beaten with a bat and ultimately destroyed. This post together have 3.5 million views. Oh, that man's sick. On July 16th, Interscope reposted on X that the recording had become the best-selling rap song of 2024 in the US. On the 24th of July, UMG posted on its X account about the recording charting as the most streamed song of the week. August 29th, UMG posted on Twitter with a link to Spotify Summer Hits 2024 playlist with a caption boasting the recording was a song of the summer, in which it was and still is. On its YouTube channel, Interscope curates playlists of recommended music video for fans. As of the date of this filing, the video is featured on the label's music video playlist. Oh my gosh. Drake just mad because his song ain't none of his songs on here. On November 8th, following the extensive publicity campaign launched and managed by UMG, the Recording Academy nominated the recording, Not Like Us, for several Grammy Awards, including the top awards for Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Rap Performance, and Best Rap Song, and nominated the video for Best Music Video. Following the release of the nominations, Interscope posted a congratulatory message on its Instagram. UMG also posted on Instagram and X bragging about the nomination for Song of the Year. Now he's saying that UMG used its ownership interest to promote the Not Like Us song and the images in the video. On Information and Belief, UMG used its stake in Complex, a global youth entertainment network, to further promote the defamatory material. Between May 5th, 2024 and the date of this filing, Complex has published at least 50 articles about Not Like Us and posted about the recording hundreds of times across its website and social media accounts. It just really seems like he's just very bitter that he's not getting the attention that he used to get. That's it. On May 4th, Complex tweeted a photo. This. All right. So the cover of Not Like Us is Drake's Toronto mansion with ex-offender app markers. On July 5th, they also published an article talk about decoding Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us video, and another title, Every Reference in Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us video. The article describes in detail the recording's defamatory allegations against Drake. On Information and Belief, Universal Music Group also used its ownership in Vivo to over-index the video on the platform. Put differently, Vivo boosted the visibility of the video relative to others in order to disproportionately increase its overall views, engaged, and performance on charts. So y'all just, I don't believe that. The song was just good. The song was just good. I don't think they did anything different or click a little button to where all the other videos didn't perform and this one just kind of, no, it's the song was just that good. So this is where everybody was able to react to Not Like Us. UMG granted licenses to promote the defamatory material. UMG also uses Global Publishing Division, UMPG, to license the defamatory material for broader use and consumption. Since the recording release, UMPG has listed the recording on its websites for licensing on television and in film. Oh, that's so awesome. On the UMPG website, third parties seeking to license the song for audio-visual publications can filter by genre, chart-topping songs, and theme playlists. UMPG markets the recording as having a winning achievement lyrical theme. They doing a lot on this stuff. UMG further promotes the recording for licensing by listing its success on the music charts. For example, on UMPG website, a third party could search for the song in the Hot 100 single. UMG also curates theme playlists on UMPG's website for marketing purposes. The recording is currently featured on the Winner's Circle playlist with 26 other songs that can be licensed. As a result of its marketing efforts, UMG has repeatedly licensed the recording to be performed publicly and published on other platforms. For example, June 19th, the recording was performed 5 times in a row at a concert in Inglewood, California, to a crowd of approximately 16,000 attendees and a live stream of over 186,000 viewers on Amazon Prime Video and Twitch. The live stream broke Amazon's music streaming record for the most minutes watched of any Amazon music production ever across Prime Video and Twitch. In the 3 days following the concert, Kendrick Lamar received nearly 61 million combined official on demand US streams. The recording represented approximately 21 million of the combined streams, a 62% increase from the 3 day period preceding the concert. This republication of June 19, 2024 is a subsequent republication on streaming platforms reached more than 21 million people and could not have occurred without UMG's explicit permission. Oh my gosh. So he's just going in. So the live performances, the radio play, they extended the license so TikTok and Meta, it could be available to us to do our little videos on. And as of to date, they just mad because people are still listening to it. And it says the recordings have been used over 1.3, what is that? That's million. 1.3 million videos on TikTok. More than 100 TikToks using the recording have been viewed at least 2 million times each. In total, 125 popular TikToks has been viewed over 100 billion times. Um, Look at this: 616,000 reels on Instagram. It has been broadcast on television during the games, baseball, basketball, the women's league, the women's basketball team. It was played during the 2024 EPSI Awards. Oh my gosh. During a July 20th, 2024 campaign rally for Vice President Kamala Harris in Atlanta, the DJ played the recording to a live crowd. Video footage showing the crowd singing along to the lyrics, certified lover boy, certified pedophile, and trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor, went viral on social media. The recording was played during a highly anticipated roll call vote for president during the Democratic National Convention. Oh my gosh, it has been played everywhere. Look at this. Recording blared in the United Center as the California Governor's Gavin Newsom cast the state delegates. Um, the Los Angeles Dodger game at the World Series. Oh, and the soccer game. Well, no, that they only posted that on when they won, they actually went on Instagram and used that as a song. Um, oh my gosh. The headline of the Apple Music Super Bowl halftime in New Orleans. That what put the well, that ain't the final nail in the coffin, but hell, it's damn near. And so all of that, so he's saying that UMG released all these licenses to let everybody kind of run with the song for a financial benefit. UMG made convert payments. Now, here's the thing. He's saying that UMG made payments to third parties to deceive consumers. So, in addition to publishing, marketing, and licensing the defamatory material on information and belief, UMG put a thumb on the scale by providing convert financial incentive to third parties. All right, we're going to kind of breeze through this. So, UMG calls third parties to fake streams. How do you fake a stream? UMG directly and through its agents conspired with and paid currently unknown parties to use bots to artificially inflate the spread of recording on Spotify. Bots are software programs designed to mimic human behavior to appear to be real social media accounts. One individual whose identity is unknown to plaintiff revealed publicly on a popular podcast that Kendrick Lamar's label paid him via third parties to use bots to achieve 300 million streams on Spotify in the initial days following the recording release, with a with the goal of jump starting its spread and turning it into a crazy hit on the platform. Now, here is the thing. You said that an individual whose identity is unknown revealed that somebody paid third parties, but you don't know who the individual is, though. So it could be just hearsay. Anybody could have said that and that got back to you and you just believe that, but you don't know who the individual is. And that was the reason why he did the pre-actions in New York and Texas, because he was trying to get the names of the individuals who were, and I'm throwing up the quotes, were paid in order to uh use bots to achieve whatever it is that they were trying to achieve. So that's the reason why he did that. All right, so we already know about that because it talks about that. They also said that there was a whistleblower who I believe ended up getting fired. They said that somebody sent him a payment of 2,500 via Zelle and promised him another 2,500 and a percentage of the recording total sales for an initial push. But yet y'all don't have that individual's um name, and you don't have any documentation showing that. So, well, you can't get this documentation because you don't even know who it is. Fake streams are well known across the music industry. All right, this is stuff that we read last time. UMG offered undisclosed financial incentives to promote the recording. So this is he talking about the pay for play arrangements, like on the radio stations. Drake has received information that at least one member of UMG's radio promotion team made payments to an independent radio promoter who agreed to transfer those payments to radio stations and or radio station employees in exchange for those radio stations playing the recording Not Like Us. So they're talking about the payola here. And then they're bringing up the 2006 case where UMG agreed to pay a settlement in New York involving the pay-to-play tactics to secure radio airplays. So they're bringing that up. It says in November 2024, New York City radio DJ Funk Master Flex released an alleged price list for payola on radio stations: 350,000 for a pop radio, 250,000 for urban radio, 100,000 for a mix show, and 3 to 5,000 per song for local DJs. Other whistleblowers in the music industry have similarly confirmed the use of widespread payola, with some claiming to have proof. Um, if that is the case, my only question is, I understand why they're suing UMG, but why not go after the individuals who you are saying, are paid people or, paid bots and stuff like that? And then that goes back to the pre-actions. Why did you withdraw the pre-actions? Because you would have gotten that information through the depositions in Texas and through the disclosures that you would have received in New York. So why do away with those and file this lawsuit, but you still don't have that information? Not unless you think that you're going to get that information through discovery. Yeah, UMG took other unprecedented steps to promote the defamatory material. Yeah, we about to get out of here because, child, it's a lot to go through. Oh, now he's pulling um uh oh my gosh, he named some people in here. Hold on, let me see. The effect of whitelisting the recording was massive and immediate, because as soon as people said that he dropped we wasn't going to get copyrighted, baby, everybody was on it. Able to play the recording in full in their own videos to profit from them, content creators rushed to republish the recording in reaction videos. The Cartier family have 1.44 million subscribers. And he at No Life Shack posted a 14.5-minute clip of his reaction. He has 4.7 million subscribers. As the date of this filing, the video has 4.3 million views. My kids, I'll be watching No Life Shack too. I like his reactions. YouTuber Zeus, I don't know who that is. He had a 15-minute video. He has 4.94 million subscribers, and that video has 6.6 million views. RDC Gaming, God, dog, 4. Oh yeah, I know that dude too. 4.5 million. Kai Sinat, 9 million views. He has 11.6 million subscribers. These content creators could not have legally republished the defamatory materials in full or profit from their reactions without UMG first whitelisting the recordings. So Drake is just upset because nobody really paid attention to his music. They successfully spread the defamatory material to billions of people through all streams, Spotify, YouTube, all of that. That's pretty much why this man is just hurt. He's just hurt because UMG did not reach out to him after this song came out and his house was hit. He's mad that he's been compared to Diddy and Epstein and Weinstein. Oh, and it's pretty much, this is all redundant. So that's why I'm kind of scrolling through there. UMG caused Drake substantial harm by publishing and promoting defamatory material. Oh my gosh, this man. Members of the public. So members of the public believe and repeat the false allegations. That's what he doesn't like. That's what he doesn't like. And look, he done put stuff. Oh my gosh. Other users echoed the same. Drake has more than 800. What, girl, come on. 800,000 dislikes on the song because everybody believe he loves touching, because we have evidence everywhere. Some people say, I love this song. We would have never known Drake is a whole pedophile if this information wasn't exposed. Respect and love you, Kendrick, for keeping it 100. From your tone, anger, and passion behind your words, there is no doubt on my end, that Drake is indeed a pedophile. And then somebody also said Kendrick just exposed Drake of running with pedos and ex-offenders. And that is facts. That Baca does have a weird case. He has a few weird cases. Why are you hanging with this man? I don't think Kendrick is dumb to make false accusations. I don't want to assume without proof, but ish ain't looking good for Drake. Like, I feel like he's still holding some shit back and ain't saying everything he knows about Drake. Yep. One user asked, who are the 13 pedophiles at Park Lane Circle? God, dog. And then just realized the thumbnail is from the egg roll. So he just mad. This man is mad. Oh my gosh. Is that ex-offender map on Drake's house? Now that's many pedos in one spot is crazy. Drake canceled. Drake housing a bunch of pedos at his house. Yo, ex offenders have to register red means SA against a minor. Drake has 13 of them living in the house. And then it says Drake's pedo mansion. Those are the markers used to show pedos that live next to your kids. So all in all, man, what? Wait, people all over the internet also question why Drake has not been arrested and called for the police, the FBI. Oh, I'm pretty sure people has probably called them. I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to read all that. So, people he's upset about how people is viewing him based off of what Kendrick Lamar puts out. That's all that is. This man is butthurt. Look at this. Belief and truth of defamatory material persisted in direct response to Drake's denial of the claims in the Heart Part 6. So, Drizzy, let me see. The Heart Part 6 out now, and we know you're dropping 6 minutes after. So, instead of posting my address, you have a lot to address. And then somebody responded, I don't care what they say, you always will be in my big three in my book. Because y'all know the song that he did that kind of started the whole mess was a song that he did first person shooter with J. Cole because he was upset that Kendrick did not do that song with them. Because Drake, they have all claimed, the big three is Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole. So now they saying the big three is Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, and freaking Drake, bro. Lord. Oh my gosh, bro. Drizzy touch kid. What? Oh my gosh. How can you change something? Look at this. So if you go onto a map, I don't know if y'all can see this. If you go onto a map, you can see this. This is wild. Drizzy Fun Time Chamber, a minor. And that's in Toronto. Oh gosh. Miss Mike Rothschild. Why that sounds familiar? UMG conduct caused Drake reputational, financial, physical, and emotional harm. That is something that Drake is definitely going to have to show. I'm not even sure how they're going to show that, but he's going to have to produce something to show that he took a huge financial loss because of this. I don't see it. The Economist and YouGov polls Americans about their view in Drake's 2023 and in May 2024. Drake's favorability rating dropped by 11%, while his unfavorability rating rose 13%. As of May 2024, Drake was now less popular in the United States than Joe Biden and Donald Trump. As a public figure, Drake's reputation is paramount to his career and is directly related to his financial success. UMG's purposeful spread of the defamatory material questionably caused Drake reputational harm. Because of UMG's defamation, millions of people all over the world now associate Drake with pedophilia and sexual violence against children. Yep, because I still find myself around the house saying stuff from Kendrick Lamar's song. All right. They deceived the public and they caused Drake harm. Let me see. UMG's fake Spotify streams. Da 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 da. All right. So here's finally the damn defamation. So first claim defamation. Plaintiff is a public figure. UMG published the material and you know made all of these false allegations about him and it has damaged him. Thus, the reason why he is claiming defamation because it's not true. He is now suffering from personal humiliation, mental anguish, suffering, emotional distress, stress. That's probably why he's losing weight, anxiety, loss of earnings, and pecuniary loss. UMG was aware of the ongoing harm Drake was experiencing, including because of the news reports and armed attack on his Toronto residence and Drake's private communications with UMG. Harassment. So who is this harassment for? So the first claim is defamation. The second claim is harassment. Wait a minute. UMG engaged in a course of conduct and repeatedly committed acts which alarm and seriously annoy plaintiff. UMG published, promoted, and profited from a coordinated campaign to smear, threaten, and discredit plaintiff despite plaintiff's protest. Further, UMG has placed plaintiff in reasonable fear of physical harm. UMG published explicit threats and calls the violence against Drake. Oh, so I guess because UMG published the defamatory material, it actually engaged people to be violent and cause Drake harm. Okay. So that's a part of harassment. That's crazy. Violation of the New York General Business Law, blase blase. Deceptive acts and practices on the way that UMG conducted business. They paid third parties to use bots to stream on Spotify. They engaged with pay for play with at least one radio promoter. So that's deceptive business acts there, according to the New York law. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's see what our boy is gonna pray for. He is praying for a judgment against UMG for each of the causes of action. So harassment, defamation, and deceptive business acts according to the New York Business Statute Code. He's asking for nominal damages, compensatory damages, including general, actual, consequential, and special damages in amount to be determined at trial. Punitive damages, reasonable and necessary attorney fees, reasonable and necessary cost of the suit, prejudgment and post-judgment interest in the highest lawful rates, declaratory relief, stating that the statements published and promoted by UMG and those attributed to UMG are reasonably foreseeable republications identified within this complaint, individually and collectively were and also false. So he wants a statement saying that those statements that Kendrick Lamar has made is false. An injunctive relief enjoining UMG from making statements about the popularity of the recording, image, and video that it knows to be false based on fake streams or pay for play. What? But they weren't. Well, okay. He doesn't want them to make statements about that video, period, because they know that it was false and it was played on fake streams or by bots or whatever the case may be, or because people actually were paid to actually play it on the radio. That doesn't make sense, but that's what that means. And then such other and further relief as the court deemed just and appropriate. Um, it was that was 81 pages. Lord Jesus have mercy. So all in all, to sum all of this up, oh Jesus, to sum all of this up, Drake is just butthurt. He is upset that his reputation has been demolished. He is upset that UMG, aka Universal Music Group, did not come to his defense. He is upset that UMG did not check on him when he was attacked and his life was threatened 3 or 4 times after this incident, this rap beef. He is mad because Not Like Us is just a really, really good song and it over trumped his song. It blew him. He's no longer the heartbreak kid or whoever he wants to be. It's just, sir, your time has ran out. point blank period. I don't hear any other artists that used to be, popular back in a certain time period crying that they're not popular now. Take your loss and bow out gracefully. Somebody Kiss the Heaven said it is way too much. It is. That's why his new name is Paperwork Papi. Because who sues somebody over a rap beef? The public and some news already were talking about Drake's public behavior with minors. Kendrick just put a name on it. That's what it was. That's There is so much more to this story. There's so much more that I believe that goes on in that industry that, like, they know, like, we are on the outside looking in, but those artists, those entertainers, they know what is going on within that circle. That's why they call it Hollyweird. And you don't have to be in Hollywood to be in Hollyweird. Look at Diddy. So many people, like, people don't realize when it comes to these actual allegations. Like back in the days, if somebody said, "Oh, somebody da 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 da," I'll be like, "Nah, I don't believe that." Now, when somebody says, I'm keeping my eye out on them. I am. I'm watching how you move. Same thing with Diddy. When that stuff went down with Diddy, I really didn't pay attention to it, but I never said I don't believe Cassie. My first initial thought was right after he settled, the day after, I mean, like literally hours after that petition was filed, he settled. I knew right then he was trying to hide something. Now, Drake, you can say what you want, but you got to explain a lot of stuff. And one thing I question, and it's not even when he was on stage and he asked that young lady to come up there. It is the fact that he was texting Millie Bobby Brown. Y'all, if y'all don't know who that is, once again, that is the star of Stranger Things. Just type in YouTube, Millie Bobby Brown text Drake. She was a minor. There, I don't care if I have a child who is a superstar. I'm still going to be a parent, and who the fuck are you talking to? How old are they? I still be doing that. These kids be on Roblox and everything, and I still be at who you talking to? How old are they? How you know? So for Drake to sit up here and say these allegations aren't true, you, let me tell y'all something. We would have never known. Like, I wasn't even paying attention to Millie Bobby Brown. Like, I like her as an actress. She's awesome. But I would have never known that she was up here texting Drake when he was in his freaking 30s. You got to explain that. Oh, I was being a big brother. I'm not buying that. You hanging around somebody who has a few cases, and I went on the court records in Canada and I seen it. Baca does have a weird case. So that's who you rock it with. It's one thing to be hanging with somebody and you don't know the extent, right? But it's one thing to know that, oh, this is what happened, and you still hanging with them. That ain't even your blood. No, sir. That's just like with the Naziah Harris case. That baby was 13, between 11 and 13, and a man who was a registered ex offender, and yet he was still in the home or in the area where there were kids. I'm not buying that. So Drake, you do have a lot of explaining to do. Good luck with this UMG case. UMG ain't about to back down. And Sir Grange, he about to pull out the dogs. And Drake is lucky if he even still, I don't even know. Can they even drop him from the label. I don't know much about the music industry, but you're suing somebody who you are up under their like the little, what'd you call it? Like subsidiaries, something like that. He's for Republic. So Republic is under the UMG umbrella. So this is crazy. What's up, Rose and Gold? Howdy, howdy, howdy. Yeah, this is crazy. So I'm going to definitely keep a eye out on this one because I don't know what Drake is going to do. Um, like I've always said, I think his intention is to not have not like us performed at the Super Bowl. Um, and at the same time, he possibly is getting money. Like his reputation is already ruined. It's ruined. There's no way that you can come back from, child um allegations. Just like Jay-Z. Jay-Z up here fighting for his life. But yeah, y'all definitely definitely let me know what y'all think about this. UMG is going to fight this all the way. I don't see that they did anything wrong. I just believe that Drake is just butt hurt. His music is not getting played. His reputation is not it's not looking good. And then also to going back to the Millie Bobby Brown and other incidents, I don't know how far he want to go because when it hits discovery, the same thing that we're questioning, I am sure that UMG and their attorneys is going to do the same thing when it comes down to discovery and depositions. Well, how do we know that these allegations aren't true? They're going to do their due diligence and they're going to find some things on the internet. So, Drake, be prepared. Be prepared. And I bet Ebony, I'm about to go on Twitter and find Ebony Prince 2K, and I'm about to see what he got to say because he's been dropping little Easter eggs ever since this rap beef started, and he had a lot to say. And I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I thought the dude was loony for a minute until he started posting the actual glove and prescription stuff and everything that was in Kendrick Lamar's video. Well, not video, in the song Meet the Grams. So that dude was actually part of the security team at the hotel that Drake was at. And he said that there were things that were going down at that hotel with Drake. I believe it. But y'all tell me what y'all think about it in the comments below. To the replay gang, hey, thank you for watching. Yes, it is a 2 hour and 12-minute live, but take a break, put a pause to it, bookmark it, however you want to do it. Take this in chunks, but this is a good one. This is just the start of Drake's little, I guess he's calling this a payback. I don't know. Or he's just going broke and he needs some money, so he's trying to get some money. But y'all let me know how y'all think this is going to play out in the comments below. Definitely like, definitely subscribe, definitely share. Until then, you all be blessed and have a good night. I'm out. Bye.